Okay.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good man. How you keeping?
Not too bad, man. Just trying to stay busy, you know how it is. Stay
Getting the
focused.
runs in?
Yeah, I'm probably been doing more running and more fire recently, but yeah, just staying busy, man.
Yeah, road work is the only thing really, unless you've got a bag or anything of you.
Yeah, I got a bag set up, so I've been doing some rounds on the bags, but mainly road work, circuits. Just trying to stay busy, you know what it's like.
Yeah. Trying to get the upper hand on your competitor, innit?
That's it, man. Just staying ready. So as soon as obviously everything's back to go, I'm be ready to go again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When we back to normal, what's your plan? Straight off?
Obviously, soon as first thing, just get back in the gym and just look to get another date and just continue to keep building, continue to keep winning. To be honest, obviously, I was meant to fight March of 28th, so that was postponed now. So I think Sandler will be putting on another show, and then just continue to keep moving forward. Do you know what I mean?
Is it the same opponent or have they changed the whole show?
They've changed the whole show, so the likelihood they'll probably have a new opponent for me. Do you know what I mean? But whoever it is will be more ready to go in there and win again. Do you know what I mean? But that's why I've just been using this time now in lockdown to just to keep working. Like that's all it is. There's nothing else you can do other than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's make or break really. This because some people can just find the time to laser out, and
Yeah,
then you've got the ones like yourself and who are using it to your advantage.
yeah. Just using the time wisely. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to. I know there'll be many people who, obviously, when we come out of this lockdown, who would have thought I've left it now. Do you know what I mean? They've wasted how many months, or say how many weeks, sorry, by not doing anything, and then they're playing
Yeah,
catch up. But I try to make sure I'm one of the first there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not too focused on what anyone else is doing, but I'm just know myself. I'm staying fit, staying healthy, and just staying ready. You never know. In 2 weeks, they can say everything's back to normal. I'll be ready to walk into the gym and just pick off from where we left off. Do you know what I mean?
that's the thing. Yeah, because when we start back off now, these shows are just going to be like, right, we need the boys who are ready to check in to go to work straight away.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it speaks for everybody, everyone, whatever, everybody, all aspects. You know what I mean? Especially with boxing, there's been so many shows cancelled. The likelihood is not every fighter who is going to be fighting on the shows are going to be ready. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
opportunities are going to be there. I think for the fighters, if you weren't fighting on this show, there may be a chance for you to jump on that, being ready and being fit and being ready to go. Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just using it to my advantage, to be honest.
I was quite shocked the other day to find out your interview with Bob Day that you'd only had two
Yeah.
amateur fights. Can you tell us a bit more about
Well, like I said to Bob in the interview, I've been in the gym since I was about 12, bro. I was in and out and wasn't really too dedicated, if I'm honest. And then, obviously, my fights in the amateur boxing, it didn't accumulate to as much time I've been in the gym. Like, so for someone who was like a novice in fight aspect, I've been in the gym for years. But
that?
I had two amateur fights. Several occasions, then fights are getting cancelled or opponents pulling out or couldn't get a fight. You know, it's like being an amateur boxer.
Yeah.
I was staying ready, and I think I was sparring. Then I went up to St. Joe's to spar. Obviously, I knew Tony, and just built from there. Before you know it, I was saying to Tony, right, I want to turn professional. He said, if I was you, I'd try and get more amateur fights. Another 6 to 8 months on the line, I couldn't get a fight. But obviously, I'd been sparring top boys at the gym. I think then we had another look at it, and he said, yeah, you'd be ready to turn professional. Obviously, the rest is history now. Do you know what I mean? We had 4 fights,
Yeah.
won 4 fights, and I think as a boxer, I know having an amateur background and lots of fights suits you. I think it's down to the individual. You look at the Cuban Olympian. He won 2 Olympic gold medalists on 2 Olympic gold. Sorry, on his professional debut, fighting as what they call a journeyman. He got knocked out,
Yeah.
so it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. Obviously, it's good to have that amateur background. I think when it comes to promoters and that, they do like you to have a big amateur background because you've probably got more of a following. But it's not a massive thing in professional boxing. Many professionals who have done well didn't have a massive background in the amateurs. And I think my style now, I've got a more professional boxing style than an amateur boxing style anyway, you know. So
What was the difference in time between your first and second amateur fight? Did you have them
uh,
straight together, or was it
no, I
time in
think again
between?
I had them like about 4 years apart. Like I had a fight, then jumped out of boxing for a bit. Obviously kept training, you know. It's like I was just in and out, and then
Yeah.
I thought a couple of years ago, right, it's time to knuckle down now and stay focused and keep and see what can happen. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I haven't looked back since, to be honest. I just continue to keep making progression.
So who was it that it was Tony that actually spotted that you had some talent to turn professional, was it?
Well, yeah, Tony, obviously, I owe a lot to Tony, do you know what I mean? He, obviously, he's my trainer, but originally he said, I'd advise you to have more amateur fights, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then after going there for many months and sparring and training, being around the good prospects and some great, obviously, champions from Wales, you know what I mean? It's a great gym, which I'm a part of. He said, yeah, you've been more than ready now to go and turn professional. And like I said, since I haven't looked back, and we just continue to work and continue to develop, do you know what I mean? Part of it is obviously I'm learning on the job, but I haven't got nothing to complain about, you know what I mean? I'm doing well, and I'm just going to continue to keep learning, keep working, and keep progressing.
Because Tony is known as one of the best coaches in Wales, isn't he? And you've always got a strong stable. Does that give you motivation when you're around all them boys?
Yeah, most definitely. It's we got a great bunch of guys in the gym. Obviously, we've got Lee, former world champion, Gavin, Welsh champion. We got some great prospects. You know what I mean? We all bounce off each other, and I think being around each other, we all bring the best out of each other. Obviously, we got a great bond between us all as well. It's always fun and games, but most importantly, it's always hard work. You know what I mean? And we like to push each other in the gym, and obviously, we all like to see each other do the best and be successful. So yeah, it's a great place, not just for the guys which we have in the gym. People come from all over to spar, do you know what I mean? Over England, all the gyms in Wales, they come to spar. So it's never a problem mixing in with some great talents. And I can see myself now from when I was first there to how it is now. Obviously, I can see where I've learned, and obviously I'm a lot more confident and I'm a lot better now than what I was when I first went there. All credit to Tony and everyone else in the gym. So yeah, it's a great place to be a part of, you know.
Because at super welterweight, you're really at the middle where you can spar either below and higher weights. That's a pretty even weight that is for sparring, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. But I think obviously after this now, when we go back, I'm going to be going down to welterweight. I walk around only a couple of pounds over super welterweight, so yeah, I eat healthy and stay clean throughout, obviously all the time. But I never have a problem making weight, obviously super welterweight. So I know I'll make welterweight day before, fine. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be even bigger for that weight. So, but like you said, it's a great weight because I can spar the middleweights, spar some of the lightweights, super lightweights, and we've got an array of talent up there. We've got many different styles, so it's great. You're learning in there. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, like getting back to the amateur boxing, the 2 fights I had, no disrespect, but the rounds I'm sparring with and the people who I'm sparring with, sparring sessions are a lot tougher than the professional fights I've had. You know what I mean? And that's where you learn your craft. You know what I mean? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, because I was shocked to hear that Anthony Yard's his gym, they didn't have any sparring for the Kovalev fight. But for me, it's what's always been. Sparring have always been part of the training camp. So,
of course, and you look at some of the best, the old-time boxers and the old-time greats. Many world champions, obviously they'll get prospects to spar with. You see those prospects then go on to become world champions. It's because you're in there with the people, you know what I mean? You could be sparring top quality operators and doing well. I think when you come up with people who are your own level, like basically you've got to jump in the deep end and see if you can swim, do you know what I mean? If you come out swimming, you know you're going to be all right. But most definitely, I think sparring is very, very important. It's the closest thing you can get to the fight. Don't get me wrong, the fight's totally different, but it's where you learn everything, do you know what I mean? It's easy to punch a punch bag and hit pads. It's a lot different than when someone's trying to take your chin off, do you know what I mean? So,
you know, you get punched in the nose and you think, oh, that's not very nice.
Yeah, of course. Everyone, don't get me wrong, everyone likes to punch. All boxers like to. No one really likes to get punched in the face, you know what I mean? But it's part of the game. You have to learn, and I think in sparring, that's where you do learn. And yeah, it's important to have good sparring partners and be in there with some good operators so you can learn and take those strengths then into the fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously, you're 4-0 now in the professional ranks. What's been your biggest learning curve out of them fights? Which of them four was you felt you learned the most?
To be honest, probably my first one. You know, I make sure I'm fully fit and fully prepared every fight I go into. We leave no stone unturned in camp. You know what I mean? But also,
Yeah,
my first one, it's something new. Do you know what I mean? Again, when we were speaking about that Olympic former Olympian, amateur boxing and professional, they're two different games. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Obviously, I was very excited. My first fight, I think I come out in the first round. The lads were laughing in the gym after because I must have thrown about 200 punches in the first round. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Obviously,
yeah. It's a
you don't
different
learn
pace.
then. Second
Yeah,
round, the pace dropped quite
yeah,
considerably. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you got through and won it, but it's just taught me to take my time a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's not so fast. Professional boxing. You know what I mean? Amateur boxing, you're hitting and moving. Don't get me wrong. You got to be fast, but you can pick your shots a bit better. And
it's a marathon. It is not a sprint, in it? Because amateur boxing, you just got to get the rounds in.
yeah, of course. Obviously, like I said, amateur boxing is great. You can get rounds behind you, but the professional game is totally different. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I was learned in that fight just to take my time and enjoy it a bit more. And for example, if you're starting off doing 4-round fights, you got to make sure you're going to be there then for 4-round, 8-round, 10-round,
yeah,
and 12-round fights. You know what I mean? It's easy to do 10 rounds on the pads or bags and stuff. A fight's totally different. You know what I mean? So it's just about pacing yourself and boxing to your abilities and your strength. You know what I mean? But I think from each fight, I've been improving and most importantly, just maturing and enjoying it much more. You know?
yeah. Because you're a pretty slick fighter yourself. You know, like to sit on the end of the jab and box nice. But do you find you get sometimes brought into a tear up? Do you enjoy getting into a bit of a scrap as well?
Yeah, obviously, my strengths are I'm tall, I'm rangy, so I like to box behind my jab. My favourite shot is my jab, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like straight, long punches. But I think part of being a boxer, you have to have that fight in you, do you know what I mean? You got to have that dog in you, but you got to know when
yeah,
and when not to use it. But you see some fighters, they love to stand in a phone box almost and just
yeah,
beat the shit out of each other, sorry. But
yeah, yeah.
that
It's
is
fine.
boxing. That is boxing. But I think the art of box that is fighting. So the art of boxing is to just hit and not be hit. You know what I mean? And I like to use my strengths to my ability. But like I said, I think for my first fight, I did almost get caught up into having a bit of a fisticuff and just a
Yeah,
fight where you make things easier using your strengths and boxing behind my jab. And then I've been taking that from each fight. And definitely my best weapon is my jab. Everything comes off the jab. You know.
yeah. Because you find, like, personally for me, I love the tear ups. You know, the Mexican tear ups, Scotty versus Ward and stuff. But the smartest fighters are always the ones who leave the sport with the most. Like Floyd Mayweather, he was smart and he
That
left with everything.
That is, don't get me wrong. Like you talk about those Mexican fighters, I got nothing but credit to them. They've
Yeah,
got bags of courage. It is tough. Do you know what I mean? But I remember watching Floyd Mayweather, and he's someone I study a lot. He said this boxing, and it's very true. It's all about longevity. Do you know what I mean? You got to be in
yeah,
there. The less shots you take in the fights, the longer your career is going to last, and you know that just by having injuries or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You got to look after yourself. So don't get me wrong, it's easy to hurt someone in there, and if you're standing, going toe to toe, you can easily get put to sleep or hurt yourself. So it's best to just be that slick boxer and try and hit and not be hit. You know what I mean? That's my
yeah,
style.
yeah.
That's what type of boxing I like. You know.
Because, like, what we talked about with the difference between amateur and professional, where it's a marathon rather than a sprint. Your whole career, you got to think of, which is the marathon as well. You got to think of not just at the moment. You want to last it out as long as you can, really, don't you?
Most definitely. That's why, like, I know this lockdown, this in the current circumstances aren't suitable, but it's all going to be part of my journey. Do you know what I mean? When I
Yeah,
get to the destination where I want to go, I'm going to look back and say, right, thankfully, I used the time being in lockdown to my advantage. I learned other aspects of the game. I kept studying, stayed focused, and obviously, I've not taken my eyes off the prize. You know what I mean? And that's a big asset to have. I think to be able to just know I know what I want, and I know the destination is the same, but the journey getting to there has changed slightly. But I'm just going to keep progressing and use this time wisely to benefit me in future time. You know.
Yeah, and that's the thing about boxing. It's a lonely sport. I know you have a great team around you and everything, but if you ain't dedicated, then there's
Yeah.
not much Tony or the boys can do for you. It's you got to do yourself as well.
Yeah, listen, when that bell goes, no matter who you got, no matter who's your promoter, there's someone in there coming to try and take your head off. And if you're
Yeah,
not prepared, you're gonna get on the wrong end of it. Do you know what I mean? But like you say, it's a very lonely sport. That's why I think you've got to have a good team around you. Not just obviously your team. You've got to have good people, family and friends who know what you're in boxing for, and
yeah,
who keep you on track. Do you know what I mean? But I'm so focused mentally, and I know, not being nasty, I've got a great bunch of friends, great bunch of family always, and my team who support me massively. But if I didn't have anyone, I know what I want from boxing, so I'm fully determined anyway. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
it is very important to have a good team. But like we said, it is a lonely place, so I don't have to be told to do something. You know what I mean? I don't need someone to tell me, right, you're going for a run. It's just natural to me. I know all the hard work I'm putting in now will benefit me for future times. You know what I mean? And I think that's great. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's a family aspect to bring into boxing. That's like music to my ears.
Yeah, of course.
I,
I remember watching an interview as well once with Eubank Jr. I know he's not. Some people don't like him, but you got to rate him. But he said he was live on TV. They must have said to him, "Have you got a girlfriend?" And I think he said, "No, I haven't got a girlfriend. Boxing's my girlfriend." He said, "The better I look after boxing, the better boxing looks after me." Don't
and
get
it's
me
true.
wrong.
Yeah,
Each their own, but it is very true. You put a lot of
yeah,
anything you put a time and effort into, I think you'll get your rewards from. Do you know what I mean? But most
yeah,
importantly,
definitely.
I know what I want from boxing, but same way I know what I have to do to get to where I want to go. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
dedication is something which I do have a lot of.
I got a couple of questions to finish off. Lloyd, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
Who's your favorite fighter of all time?
I like Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah, what a fight that.
What a fighter! Phenomenal. Just great punch. But again, you could punch, you could box. He had it all. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so he's watching him. His obviously you can't get a lot of his footage, but what
Yeah,
footage I do have, I'm able to watch. I'll study a lot of him. He is a top quality operator.
because I'd read a lot about the history of boxing and stuff like that. Everyone always writes that he was so in front of his time.
Yeah, it's people. It's like you do have that certain plateau of sportsmen, no matter what sport they're in, which if you put them from any era, they do well in, and I think he is
Yeah,
definitely one of those. You know what I mean? Same way
yeah,
Floyd Mayweather, I think you can chuck him. You can chuck him in years and forward or years back, and he'd still be as good as he is. It's just the gift they have. So obviously, I don't study too many people, other people too much. I make sure I focus on myself, but
yeah,
I do watch a lot of him and try and replicate some of the stuff he does along with other greats. You know, he'd
yeah.
have to
Because
be my
he's a
favorite too.
smart boxer as well, but he
Yeah,
could punch as well.
yeah. You see some of his knockouts. He was just he could punch, but he could move. Do you know what I mean? He could dance
Yeah,
around it. But he'd make you miss, and if he made you miss, he was making you pay. Do you know what I mean? And I
yeah,
think
yeah,
he was great to watch. He was been in some great scraps himself as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think he won many titles in many different weights, didn't he? So he showed
oh, definitely. Yeah.
the class he had. Like,
If what's your favorite shot to throw?
mm, like I said, I like a jab. My jab, that's my favorite. I do like the box beyond my jab, but
Yeah.
I'd say probably a straight right, to be honest. Can't beat a straight right down the pipe, do you know what I mean?
When you watch the head snapping back.
Of course, and where I'm rangy when I get them at the end of it, it's a lot of leverage, you know what I mean? So it's,
Yeah,
yeah, a nice straight right down the pipe. That's keeps them at arm's way to say, do you know what I mean?
yeah. Let them know you're there. Like,
Yeah, of
is
course.
what's a fight that you've watched more than 5 times?
Mm, I, to be honest, right now you've asked me, I can't really think of them. I try and watch many different fights, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I know that the Ward and Gatti fights,
yeah.
they're
That's
something
mine.
else. Like, do you know what I mean? Obviously,
Yeah,
that's to me that is like, you know what I mean? Just the heart and the courage that you've got in there, and there's like they had three of them, and each one of them like was up to it, like beat the other one. Do you know what I mean? And it was
yeah,
just it's great to watch, but. like I watch all different fights, to be honest, all different styles, and I can't really think of a fight I've watched more than 5 times. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's been some great fights out there, you know.
Like Gatti versus Ward, that's what got me into boxing originally, Howard. As soon as I seen that fight, I was hooked.
You see, you like the shot. Sorry, the shots they land.
That's what it was. I think it weren't a massive show of boxing skill, but
No, of
to
course
think
it
that
wasn't.
them
Like
two have just
technically,
left
it wasn't. You know what I
everything
mean?
in the ring.
Yeah, of course. And that, like you as a boxer, you just gotta take your hat off to that. It's one of them ones
Yeah.
out. If you had 100,000 in Wembley, I'm sure everyone by the end of them would be up on their feet clapping. You know what I mean?
Oh, a million
Some of them,
percent.
so, and you do see that, like, obviously that's 2 fighters, very tough game. Obviously, great fighters who just meet head in the ring and just go hell for leather. But then you can have 2 very slick, talented boxers who almost cancel themselves out. You know what I mean? Styles make
Yeah.
fights, and I think those two met and put on a great performance. You know what I mean? But then again, going back to that, I watched that fight a lot. I watched Mayweather and Gatti then, and you see the leveling class again. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's what I take from boxing. It's like, don't get me wrong, Mickey Ward, great fighter, tough as nails. But then you look like Mayweather uses to his strengths, and he didn't need to stand there. So if you don't need to do something, you don't have to do it. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's a great fight. He put some punches together there.
That's mad because if anybody, I get the question a lot. What's the best fight you've ever seen? And I always say Gatti versus Ward. But what's the best performance I've ever seen? And it's Gatti and Mayweather. That's the best single performance I've ever seen in my life from a single boxer.
Yeah, of course, because we was getting back to that. Mayweather talks about longevity. He could probably fight in a couple of weeks. Like, do you know what I mean? The guy stays healthy, and he has been a true professional even to like his last days. He was beating the best prospects. He beat all of them. Do you know what I mean? But I think when he goes back to like the Pretty Boy Floyd era, that's when he was his most dangerous. You know what I mean? And that's when he obviously was just a level above again. Do you know what I mean? He was a bit more spiteful then, and he didn't mind putting the pressure. As he got towards the end of his career, he was more of a counter punch. He still hurt you, but he didn't really look to finish you. But then you look at he put some incredible combinations together against Gatti, and I think that one combo, you probably know the clip where he's body, head, body, head. He's mixing it up, and you feel like you can hear the snap on every shot. Like, do you know what I mean? But he's class again. Like, yeah.
You can see he's not just throwing everything that he got in his armory. Like he's picking what shot he wants to throw, and he's just damaging every shot.
He's wounding you with it, and that's it. He's spiteful. He's being spiteful with the shots. I mean, he's not just wasting the shot. He's seeing the spot, hitting it, and then hitting it again. But it's great, man. Some of the combinations he put together in there.
There's a last one, a big one. Prime Mike Tyson or prime Muhammad Ali?
Ooh, I'd have to go Muhammad Ali. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's more of my style of boxer. You know what I mean? As well as Sugar Ray Leonard. Obviously, I've got massive respect and always watch Muhammad Ali. Those two will stand out above anyone in my expectations. Obviously, who I follow. But I'd have to go with Muhammad Ali. I think he would have been a bit bigger than Tyson. He would have used his jab and boxed him. You look, obviously, don't get me wrong, Tyson could not have hit, but some of the guys Muhammad Ali had been in there, they could punch a bit themselves, and they didn't seem to get him out of there. So I definitely have to say Muhammad Ali, to be honest. Just on his sheer boxing, he's a bit slicker, and I think he'd use his advantage and box him, you know?
Ali, when you think of Ali's career, he went through that time was a crazy era for heavyweights. Like, they were all dangerous.
Yeah, even now, like, don't get me wrong, heavyweight boxing, they're saying, like, it's booming now. Don't get me wrong, there's some great boxers in the heavyweight division, do you know what I mean, who are doing Britain proud, and obviously some great fighters throughout the world. But that era was the era of the heavyweights for me, do you know what I mean? You had like, Muhammad Ali, bringing Foreman, Liston, the list goes on. Crazy, do you know what I mean? The list goes on, and that was like, there was many 50-50 fights. You know what I mean? You couldn't really put
Yeah.
your name on who you thought would win. As whereas I think now personally, don't get me wrong, the top say 5-10 of the world in professional boxing, you can almost pick one. I think. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's not like it was back then. Don't get me wrong, but it's still booming. But back then, that was the era of heavyweight boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. I won't keep you any longer. Now, Lloyd, thank you very much for joining Boxing Bonanza. It's been a pleasure, son.
Okay, I'd just like to give a shout out to all my sponsors as well. CBD
Yeah.
If you follow them up on Facebook, Instagram or Facebook, they got some great products and they're doing great things for boxing. You know what I mean? It's products which I've been using for quite some time now, and I've seen a lot of benefits from using them. Also, a massive shout out to everyone who's tuned in to watch live, and most importantly, stay tuned when we're out of this lockdown. I want all the belts, you know.
Yes.
So yes, shout out to everyone who's tuned in to watch live, and most importantly, stay tuned when we're out of this lockdown. I want all the belts, you know.
Yes.
So yes.
Thank you very much, Lloyd. You've been a gentleman, son.
Cheers, John. Stay safe,
Thank you,
mate.
buddy. And you and your family, stay safe.
Thank you very much. Cheers, John.